Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadashivasamārambhām Shankarācārya Madhyamām Asmadācārya Paryantāṃ Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purāṇānaṃ Ālayam Karuణālayam Namāmi Bhagavatpādam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankarācāryam Keshavam Bādarayanam Sutra Bhāshyakrito Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyaptadehaaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Gukarasandhakaro vai Rukarastanivartakah Andhakara Nirodhitvat Gururityabhidiyate Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavirkyam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahi Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Bhadram Karne Vishniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashe Makshaviryajatraha Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubhi Vishema Devahi Tanyadayuhu Swastina Indro Vrdhashravaha Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaha Swastina Starkshiyo Arishthanemihi Swastina Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Namo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kritbhyo Namaha Prajnanam Shupratanihi Sthiracharanikara Vyapibhir Vyapya Lokan Uktva Bhogan Stavishtan Punarapi Dishanodbhasitan Kamajanyan Itva Sarvan Viseshan Swapiti Madurabhang Mayaya Bhojayannaha Maya Sankhya Turiyam Paramamritamajam Brahma Yattannatosvi Soyamatma Adhyaksharam Omkaraha Adhimatram Pada Matra Matrascha Padaha Omkara Akara Ukaro Makara Iti Jagaritastanaha Vaishwanaraha Akaraha Pratama Matra Aptehe Adimatvad Va Apnoti Havi Sarvan Kaman Adischa Bhavati Yahaya Evam Veda Swapnastanaha Taijasaha Ukaraha Dvitiya Matra Utkarshat Ubhayatvad Utkarshati Havi Jnanasantatim Samanascha Bhavati Nasya Brahmavitkule Bhavati Evam Veda Sushuptastanaha Prajnaha Makaraha Tritiya Matra Mitehe Apitehe Va Minoti Hava Idam Sarvamapi Itischa Bhavati Yaha Evam Veda Vishwasya Atva Vivakshayam Adi Samanyamutkatam Matra Sampatipattau Syat Apti Samanyamevacha Taijasasya Utva Vijnanaha Utkarsho Adrishyate Sputam Matra Sampatipattau Syat Ubhayatvam Tatha Vidam Makara Bhave Prajnasya Manasamanyamutkatam Matra Sampatipattau Tu Laya Samanyamevacha Trishu Dhamasa Yastulyam Samanyam Vetti Nischitaha Sapujyas Sarva Bhutanam Vandyas-chaiva Mahamunihi Akaro Nayate Vishwam Mukarascha Pitayasam Makarascha Punah Prajnam Namatre Vidyate Gatihi Soyam Atma Adhyaksharam Omkaraha Adhimatram Padaha Matraha Matrascha Padaha Akara Ukaro Makara Iti. The Shruti has picked up the Abhidhana, which is Omkara, to equate the Prapancha, Sarva Prapancha, which is the Atma Vastu. The four padas of the Atma or the Prapancha or Brahma Vastu, however you want to call it, mapping the four padas to four matras of Omkara. So the Abhidhana, Abhideya Ekatvam, is shown here. So Abhideya Pradhana, from with reference to what is Abhideya, the four padas were already shown. Again, each of the pada, like we discussed in the other sessions, is about Samashti. So the Vishwa is Vaishwanara. So if you look at what is included in the first Pratama Pada, is the entire Stula Prapancha, the Vishwa, which is the Sthana, the Jagarita Sthana, the Stula Prapancha, and the Vishwa Vaishwanara, everything is included there. That is your first pada. Similarly, second pada is your Taijasa, and again Samashti, which is Hiranyagarbha, all that is shown as that pada. And third, similarly, is your Sukshma, is your Karana Sharira, which is the Prajna as well as the Samashti Ishvara and Sushupta Sthana, everything is included in the third pada. So between these three padas, the Karana Jagat and the Karya Jagat are both included. Okay, the Karanatvam, Karyatvam, everything is included in the padas, the three padas. So the entire Prapancha, including its Karanam, is included there. And then finally the fourth pada, which is the Turiya, that is, it pervades all of them but stands beyond all of them, was already shown. Now this is from Abhideya Pradhana. Abhideya Pradhanena, this was shown. So what is intended to be revealed by this Abhidhana Omkara? So whenever you take this Omkara, it should basically in your mind bring the entire thing, the whole Prapancha, which includes the Stula, Sukshma and Karana, and the Sarva Adhara for all these things, which is Turiya. So that is from Abhideya Pradhanyena, it has been revealed. Now from Abhidhana perspective, do we need to talk about it? Yeah. Once Abhideya is already understood, what is the point in again exploring the Abhidhana? So the reason that is given is because if Abhideya Pradhanyena, the Jnanam is not yet taking place despite the Shravanam, then from Abhidhana Pradhanena, there can be a deliberate adhyasa which can be done. The superimposition can be done deliberately, and then it can become a dhyana yogya vishaya. Okay. So the dhyana can be done, the upasana can be done from Abhidhana Pradhanena. If you superimpose things, you do a deliberate adhyasa on the Abhidhana. So you divide Abhidhana into parts, and the Abhideya padas you superimpose on these Abhidhana matras, so that it becomes something for contemplation or dhyana. Therefore, this was picked up. That is why Shruti says matraha padaha cha matraha. So equating each of the matras to the four padas. Okay, this equation is how the deliberate adhyasa is done. So that we saw. Okay, the Bhashya also we saw. Then Jagarita Sthanaha, Vaishwanaraha, Akaraha, Pratama Matra, Aptehe Adimatvadva, Apnoti Havi Sarvan Kaman, Adischa Bhavati Yaha Evam Veda. Jagarita Sthanaha, Vaishwanaraha. So this Vaishwanara, which is what Abhideya Pradhana Pada, the first Pada, is Jagarita Sthanaha Vaishwanaraha, which, like I said, includes the Stula Prapancha, the Samashti Virat, okay, the Sthana also, and everything that goes with the vacant state. Okay, the Veshti Samashti all together is Vaishwanaraha, and that was mapped to what? Akaraha. Okay, the Akaraha, it is mapped to. Why Akara? So it gives some rationale for it. Okay, it can just say that, okay, I am mapping it as a deliberately, but it is giving some reasoning. Okay, so Matra Aptehe Adimatvadva Apnoti Havi. So the Adimatvam, this is there in both. Okay, Pratama Matra. So we saw this Bhashya, again we can quickly look at it. Jagarita Sthanaha Vaishwanarahayaha Taha Omkarasya Akaraha Pratama Matra. Kena Samanyena Aptehe. aptihi, vyaptihi. So this akara it pervades all of the words sound, samuha is pervaded by akara. Okay, we already saw the variation of akara is what all the other vowels and consonants. Okay, so therefore it pervades. And he also shows the Shruti Vakya, Akarena Sarva Vag Vyapta, Akaro Vai Sarva Vak iti Shrutehe. So just like Akara pervades the entire world of, the Pratiti and the Abhidhanas, okay, the words and the Pratiti which happens through that word, okay, that is your entire world experience, no? The Pratyaya that happens for the word is your Jagat. Okay, that's why we said Vacha, Shruti says Vacharambanam Vikaraha Namadhyayam Nama Matram. So the Nama is there and there is a Pratyaya associated with the Nama. That is what is the Jagad Anubhava. There are so many words, Shabda, and that Vak Samuha, Vak Prapancha is what is the whole experience. There is a Pratyaya associated. There is a Pratyaya means it's an experience. Okay, so I have an experience through a combination of sight, touch, taste, smell. All these things is what I called as the Jagat. So that Jagat is Vaishwanarena Vyaptam. Okay, so it is Tasya Hava Etasya Atmanaha Vaishwanarasya Dhumena Dhuma Murdha Iva Sutejaha. That's a Chandogya Shruti, right? So this whole Atma is pervaded by is the Vaishwanara, and for which the Swarga is like the Murdha. Okay, that means Atma is the whole Jagat, which is Atma, is Vaishwanara. Iti, there is a Shruti Vakya. Therefore, so both are from Shruti Vakya only. Bhashyakara picks up and says, just like Akara pervades Vak Samuha, Vaishwanara also pervades the whole world. So there is a Samanya. Okay, so Abhideya, Abhidana, Abhidana Abhideyoho Ekatvam Chavochama, Adihi Asya Vidyate iti Adimate, Yatha Eva, Adimat Akarakyam Aksharam, Tata Vaishwanara, Tasmadva, Samanyat, Akaratvam Vaishwanarasya. So the Vaishwanara and Akara. So you can, so when you, okay, end of the day, what are we trying to say? When you are doing your contemplation, Bhashyakara is going to say that later, Akaraha Nayate Vishwam. Okay. So when you are doing a contemplation using Omkara, and suppose you close your eyes and do a dhyana, Omkara dhyana, in your Akara, you superimpose entire Vaishwanara, because there is this Samanya, just like Akara is pervading, Vaishwanara also pervades everything. Like that you contemplate. That is what is the whole intent. Tadekatva vidaha palamaha. So suppose I recognize it, what is the palam? Palam for is apnoti havi sarvan kaman adihi pratamascha bhavati mahatam yayevam veda yatoktam ekatvam veda ityartha. The one who recognizes these, the pala we already discussed, he gains all his wishes and also becomes first in, counted first in everything. Okay, that's the pala stuti. Then Swapnasthanaha Taijasaha Ukaraha Dvitiya Matra Utkarshat Ubhayatvadva Utkarshati Havai Jnana Santatim Samanascha Bhavati Na Asya Abramhavit Kule Bhavati Evam Veda. This I think we saw half of it, half of Bhashya. So we'll continue. Swapnasthanaha Taijasaha Yaha. So the second is the, from Abhideya perspective, is Swapnasthana. That is the Taijasa. Again, from Samashti perspective, it is Hiranyagarbha, Saha Omkarasya Ukaraha Dvitiya Matra. So when you are contemplating, when you are doing superimposition in Omkara, this Taijasa is superimposed on Ukara because it is in between. Why is it in between? Because when you wake up from dream, okay, so you can either wake up from a dream or you can go back to deep sleep from the dream. So you can get to both. But you can't get to dream directly from waken. You can only go to deep sleep, and from deep sleep only dream happens. But dream can lead you back to either deep sleep, or you can wake up from a dream. Okay, so it is in between. That is why it kind of gets you to both. Okay, so that is one reason. The second, like we already saw, there is a tangible, there is a stula prapancha, right? There is the stulatvam, the grossness is there in the waken. That is stulatvam is there. In karana avastha, which is sushupti, there is no stulatvam, nor sukshmatvam. Okay, so the sukshmatvam is there, karanatvam is there, all of them are there in what? In the waken. So there is a karana sharira, which is your non-recognition, right? The agrahanam, and anyata agrahanam is also there, and the stulatvam also is known. Okay, and we already saw in dream also there is agrahanam and anyata agrahanam, but there is no stulatvam. So again, it has a status which is slightly lesser than your waken. Okay, so again, that is another reason why it can be classified as in between. So, but there is another reason given, which is utkarshat. Kena samanyena utkarshat means it is over akara. Okay, because there is an addition to akara which becomes ukara, right? So you have to use your voshta. So this in phonetics in Sanskrit, we have this voshtyam. Okay, the sounds which come from the lips. Okay, so kantyam, talavyam, murdhanyam, dantyam, voshtyam. So we divide phonetically the sounds into 5 groups. Okay, kantyam means which come from the throat, like ka, ka, gha, ga, nga, ah, and all that. Then depending on where your tongue touches your palatals, if you like rotate it and touch upwards, it's called murdhanya, like ta, ta, and all that. Okay, and if you touch the flatter part, which is just behind your teeth, that is called talavya. Okay, so that is tata dadhana. Then your dantya, when you touches your teeth, right, then your dantya will come. That is tata dadhana. This talavya is chacha jajanya, and then voshtya, it's all pa pa ba bhama and all that, and then even the shasa saha, these also come from one of those parts, but you actually make a different, you produce different kind of effort. Okay, for those. Okay, so anyway, coming back, so there is a 5 classifications on how the sounds are made. So all these, other than the one that the akara which comes from kanta, need to have the tongue touching one or the other, or at least the lips have to be, lip position has to be changed and all that stuff, right? So all these are covered within ukara. Okay, because ukara stands for everything in between, and also it has something addition to akara, because you have to do something on top of akara to get those sounds. So utkarshat. Okay, so this similarly, dream also something over and above what you see in the waken. What can't be seen also comes in the dream, right? So you have this combination persons, like a lion head at me, all that can happen. So that also you can take it as utkrishtatvam, just like your ukara has some addition to akara, dream also has something more. Okay, what so you're, in fact, if you do daydreaming, right, it is like, you're fantasizing and all that, so you can have some utkrishtatvam there. Okay, over and above what is there in waken. So anyway, so there's some reasoning, right, why it is utkrishta. So akarad utkrishtah iva hi ukarah tata taijasah vishwat. Okay, so this Hiranyagarbha has more power, because in fact your Vishwa becomes Vishwa only because of Sukshma Sarira. No? Without Sukshma Prapancha, without the Sukshmatvam, the Indriyas and all that, there is no world experience. Okay, so even though there is a Stula Prapancha, The Stula Prapancha can be experienced only if you have Sukshma Sharira, right? Otherwise, even if your body is there, if Atma is gone, there is no experience. So that way, if you actually see Taijasaha Vishwat Utkrishtaha, because its presence is, even without Stula, Sukshma experience is there in dream. Whereas without Sukshma, there is no Stula experience, right? So that means Stulatvam has a slightly lesser status than Sukshma from that perspective, right? So because you need one for the other, but you don't need the other for this one. Yeah. So Ubayatvatva we have seen Akara Makarayoho Madhyastaha Ukaraha Tata Vishwaprajnayoho Madhyaha Taijasaha Madhye Taijasaha Ataha Ubayat Ubaya Bhak Ubaya Bhaktva Samanyat. Okay, Ubaya Bhaktvam. So it is there in this Vishwa Prajna or Madhye Taijasa. Okay, this Taijasa is in between Vishwa and Prajna, and Ukara is in between Akara and Makara. So it has some kind of Akara in it. It has some kind of Makara in it. Okay, some part. Okay, Ukara has an Akara in it, right? Essentially, Akara is the one which is pervading the entire Ukara. And wherever there is a constrainment, it is similar to Ma. Ma is a totally constrained. If you completely close, it is right? If you partially close, it becomes Pa, Ma, and all that. Pa, Ba, and all that. Okay. Ma is fully closing. It's not even Ma, it's right? So that is why that is a Ubaya Bhaktvam. Okay. Anyway, Vidvat Palamuchyate. So therefore, in Ukara, now that you have reasonable justification, you can superimpose the Hiranyagarbha status and the Sthana, which is your Taijasa, on the Ukara. Okay, Vidvat Palamuchyate Utkarshati Havai Jnana Santatim Vijnana Santatim Vardhayati Ityartha. Okay, the Jnana Santati, the knowledge keeps growing. Okay, Santatim Vardhayati. Vijnana, the clarity continues to grow if you understand this equation. Samanaha tulyascha mitrapakshasya shatrupakshanaamapi apradveshyaha bhavati. Okay, even people who take opposite positions, okay, still they may have a difference in points of view, but there is no dvesha. There is a paksha, but there is no dvesha. That's what he says. It's like the political scenario, right? If you see in many countries and also in our national politics and all that, the Shatru Paksha and Mitra Paksha, they are together in parliament also. After the debate, they go together, they talk, and if you can see like scenario where they are friendly. Okay, only from a political perspective, points of views, ideological contentions, they debate. Whereas in some states, right, we can see in like Tamil Nadu kind of states, there's at least evidently there is no that mitratvam which is evident. At least that is how it is projected, right? So they are like they completely even personally there is a personal vidveshti. So anyway, so unlike that, so here what is saying mitra pakshasya eva shatru pakshasya pakshanam api apradveshya, even people who don't agree with you on your ideology in your contentions, still personally they like you. Okay, so you appreciate, okay, this person as a person is good, she is good, whatever, right? Though I may differ from an opinion perspective, but not as an individual. So that kind of a state he will attain with every Shatru Paksha. Okay, as a person he will be liked, her, she will be liked, is what it says. Samanaha tulyascha mitra pakshasya eva Shatru Pakshanam api apradveshyaha bhavati abrahmavid chasya kule na bhavati evam veda. In that person's family lineage, there won't be any person who will not eventually become a brahmavid. Okay, so that is the palastuti. Shushuptastanaha prajnaha makaraha tritiya matra mitehe apitehe va minoti hava idam sarvam apitischa bhavati evam veda. Again the third one, right? The third matra is makara. So we know, I mean, the sequence. So obviously it is now equated to the prajna, sushupta sthanaha. So the third sthana, which is the sushupta, where the swarupa is called prajna, and samashti, in samashti terms it is ishvaraha. Makaraha tritiya matra. So the abhidhana there is the makara, the okay. Tritiya matra. Mitehe apitehe va. Okay, mitehe means manam, the measure. Okay, we'll see. Bhashyakara will explain how it is like a measure. So makara becomes a measure for akara ukara. Similarly, sushupta sthana becomes a measure for jagrita and the taijasa sthana or swapna sthana. Minoti hava idam sarvam. Okay, so minoti hava idam sarvam minoti. So everything becomes one. The other things apitehe. Okay, minoti is measures. Apitehe va. Okay, apitihi means eki bhavaha, oneness. Okay, this akara and ukara become one with makara. Similarly, the waken and dream become one with deep sleep in avyakta state. So there is a equality, so similarity. Therefore, bhavati evam veda. So the one who gains these things, that person also gains oneness. Okay, is how Jagat Yatatmyam Janati, the one that person, once the third state also the person understands, then he becomes a jnani, is how it is blessing. Okay. Sushupta sthanaha prajnaha yaha saha omkarasya makaraha tritiya matra kena samanyena ityaha samanyam idam atra mitehe mitihi manam niyate ivahi vishwataijasau prajnena प्रलयोत्पत्त्योः प्रत्योः प्रवेशनिर्गमाभ्यां प्रस्थेनैव यवाः. So the maze, when it is measured by a measure called prastha, okay, like your, the marakal and all that we call in Tamil, no? So it's one kind of a measure by which you measure the grains, okay. So similarly, this Vishwataijasa is measured by prajna during pralaya and utpatti. Okay, so pralaya utpatti, it's not about again it's a samashti, right? So we are not talking about sleeping, wake. See, immediately your mind will go to sleeping. How can sleep measure the waking? And it does in a sense, but here it is samashti. Okay, pralaya utpatyoho. How, see, this kalpa and all that, anyway there is a measure. So many years is one yuga. This Chatur Yuga is so many years, and this, Kalpa is so many Chatur Yuga. All that is there. That is one thing. But more importantly, what is the basis for Srishti? The Srishti happens because of karma only. So the Sanchita karma for all this jivas, they become prarabdha. So once the Srishti starts, okay, the Srishti happens, all the jivas come to experience based on the punya papa, the karma pala. So now what amount of karma pala has to be dispensed with, for how long, and all that is already shaped when the srishti happens. Okay, and pralaya happens as soon as this experience. So that is a shastra, right? Shastra says, so this is based on your punya papa, each jiva's punya papa, prarabdha, whatever it is taking up to consume in a particular birth, whether it is human birth or animal birth or birth on the earth or goes to Swarga, Naraka, whatever. Everywhere there is prarabdha. See, there is a difference between this Manushya Loka and Swarga and all that. Swarga, everywhere there is Sanchita is there for Jiva always, right? There is no difference. Prarabdha also is there in Swarga, Narakadi as well as the human birth and animal birth and all that, because prarabdha means what you have to experience. The agamya only is possible only with human birth, okay, because that is where you have the purushartha, the free will to decide right and wrong, okay, to know right and wrong, decide to do based on right and wrong. So the dharma and karma pala is there only for human. That means what? Agamya karma is there only for human, right? Otherwise, other two are common. So anyway, so depending on what you have, what you are going to experience in particular life comes up as prarabdha, and based on it, the life goes on. But that is measured in terms of how many years, how many yugas will be there in that one kalpa and all that, right? And then pralaya happens as soon as one yuga is over. Again, it depends on how many days it is for Brahma and all that. There is some kind of view on that. Okay, so essentially, with that as a basis, also, if you look at this, the Utpatti Pralaya is known how much time this whole Srishti is going to be is measured at the time of Srishti and Pralaya. Okay, so that is one way of looking at it. But I have also seen explanations like the Yava coming and going out of prastha, right? That is into a measure. What you are measuring just comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out. Okay, so the measure is there. The the vessel in which you are measuring, it is there, and then something comes. Okay, 1 kilo, it goes this side. Again 1 kilo, it goes this side, right? So it is like a measure like that. Your Vishwa Tejasa happen, okay, and then goes out. So Pralaya is kind of there, right? And on which is what the Vishwa Tejasa comes and goes. Okay, so that is another way of looking at it. Niyate iva hi Vishwa Tejasau prajnena pralayotpatyoho. Okay, because if you see the next line, Tata Omkara Samaptau Punaha Prayogecha Pravishya Nirgachaiva Akara Ukaro Makare. So if you continuously say Om, 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 like that you keep saying, it appears as though from O comes out and then O goes back to Makara. Makara, Ukara is O, right? Om, Om, Om. So it's the Makara which is like there, on which this Om comes and goes. That's what Bhashikara says. Tata Omkara Samaptau Punaha Prayoge. Again you do a Prayoga. So you do Om, Om. So Punah Prayoga you are doing. Then Pravishya Nirgachataha Iva Omkara Akara Ukaro Makare. It is as though it is Omkara. O is coming into Makara and then again coming out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. Right? So this Makara is there, and on which Akara Ukara comes and goes. Like that in measure also, prastena yavaha, this maize comes and goes. Like that, this prajna tejasa, I mean the Vishwa tejasa also comes and goes on prajna. Prajna is there, so you don't measure, nothing to measure in prajna, right? Because there's no time. Time itself is not seen. How long was this pralaya? How will you say? Because the pralaya has to have time to even say that this much time. How long you slept? Okay, you can say after waking up, look at the clock and then say that. That's all, right? Provided the clock was running when you are sleeping. In the case of pralaya, nothing is there. So until it comes back, there is no time. There is nothing, right? So that is why there is no measure there, right? So this prastha also, it doesn't measure when there is no yava. So what they are you measuring? So similarly, this Omkara Samaptau Punah Prayogecha Pravishya Nirgachadahayo Om Akaro Ukaro Makare Apiterva Apitihi Apyayaha Pravapyayauhi Bhutanam. Bhagavan says, no. So Apyayaha means Eki Bhavaha, becoming one. Okay, Omkara Ucharanehi Antye Akshare Eki Bhutaviva Akara Ukaro Antye Akshare. So, because see, it is simple, no? When you are closing your mouth and saying, that means you are relaxing there, right? So, essentially, when you are akara and ukara, when you say, you are doing something with your mouth, like with your lips and all that, right? Oh, you have to do all this, right? And but for you don't do anything. You just close your mouth and say, So, which means what? Omkara ucharane. Antye akshare eki bhutaha. It becomes one. The akara ukara have become one with makara. Omkara ucharane hi antye akshare eki bhutaviva akara ukarau tata vishwatejasau sushupta kale pragnye eki bhutaha. Okay, so it's become one because it's unmanifest. It's all one mass, right? That is what is deep sleep. One mass of only there is a agrahanam is there. This ajnanam is there. That is the only difference between prajna and the atma, right? The fourth pada. Turiya is different from prajna because there is no agrahanam in Turiya, whereas there is agrahanam in prajna. So that is the only thing. So similarly, here also in this makara, so then we have to see what is this amatra. So we'll come to that. Atova samanyad ekatvam prajnam akarayoho. Okay, akarayoho means akara ukara. So akara ataha va prajnam akarayoho. Sorry, ataha va samanyad ekatvam prajnam akarayoho. The prajna and makara together, the arts are same because of these reasons. Vidvat palamaha. So what is the palastuti? Pala here. Minoti hava idam sarvam jagad yatatmyam janati. So Shruti says minoti hava idam. It measures all of these, means measures also can be taken as understands, is what Vashigara says. Jagad yatatmyam. The truth of this world is understood. Apitischa jagat karanam karana atma cha bhavati. Okay, jagat karana atma apiti, the oneness. Okay, apyayaha. Okay, the eki bhava. So jagat karana atma is eki bhava. Bhavati ityartha. Atra avantara palavachanam pradhana sadhana stutyartham. Okay, the pradhana sadhana. So why each one there is a palastuti done to praise the overall objective of Omkara Dhyana. Okay, that's what Bhashikara says. Atra yate shlokaha bhavanti. There are 3 shlokas in which Karikakara covers these things. Okay. Vishwasya atma vivakshayam. Vishwasya atva vivakshayam. Adisamanyam utkatam. Matra sampratipattau syat. Apti samanyameva cha. Vishwasya atva vivakshayam. The Vishwa, the intent to be revealed, vivakshayam. What vivaksha? Atva vivaksha. So the Vaktumicha, Shruti wants to say that the Atvam, the I alone, Akara, is equivalent to Vishwa. Okay. Samanyam. The Samanyam of Atva with what? Vishwa. The Vishwa and I are same. Iti, the Samanyam has to be said. So, Vivakshayam, Aditva Samanyam is that already same, whatever Shruti says only is putting in shloka format. They both are the beginning. Beginning phonetically also beginning because the sounds all start with A, like we said. And as an Akshara also, the language starts with A, no? A, E. In most of the language, even English starts with an A. So, Akara is the starting vowel. So, the first sound is human sound, okay? Not like cow and dog and all that. The humans, when they make sound, the first phonetic, the sound that comes out is akara. So that's why Adi Samanyam Utkatam. So there is a Adi. They both are the beginning. Like Vishwa also is the beginning, okay, of the 3 states. Without Vishwa, there is nothing, right? If there is no Vishwa, there is no vacant state, then there can't be any Swapna state also. Then all that will be there will be only Brahma. Okay, there won't be any Srishti. So the Srishti means Vishwa has to be there. Okay, the dream also may, even if it weren't there, you still would have had Srishti. Whereas if there was no vacant, we can't think of a Srishti. No? Matra Sampratipattau. So to understand how the Matra is Atva Vivaksha only, right? So Sampratipatti is knowing what this Matra is. Syat Apti Samanyam. Okay, the Vyapti Apti is Vyapti. So the Vyapakatvam is there for Akara as well as for Vishwa. Okay. Samanyam Utkatam is evidently there. It is obviously there. What is obviously there? The Aditva Samanyam. Okay, that being the first is there in both Akara as well as in Vishwa. Also, the pervasiveness is there for both. So it is very evident. That doesn't need any much of explanation, is what the Karika itself says. So Bhashya also quickly skims through this. Atra ekesh ete shlokaha bhavanti. These three shlokas are there. So first one, Vishwasya Atvam Akara Matratvam. Atvam is Akara Matratvam. The only, if you take, when you are chanting this Om in your mind, okay, the pratika, no sound symbol, Shabda pratika is what we say Omkara is. It's not a written symbol, it is a sound symbol. And that sound symbol, Akara Matra, when you take that, keep saying that sound symbol in your mind, Om, 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 there you bring the whole experience, Jagat experience. So within Akara, you bring the whole Vishwa. Ukara, you bring the Taijasa, where Hiranyagarbha. And then Makara, you bring the Karna Sharira and Karna Jagat. So like that, you keep saying Om, 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 you keep covering everything and do a dhyana. Okay, that is what it is. Akara Matratvam Yada Vivakshade. This Akara alone is when it is tried to be revealed. Tada Aditva Samanyat Uktanyayena Utkatam Udbhutam Drishyate Ityartha. Utkatam means Udbhutam, evident. Evident Drishyate, Udbhutam Drishyate. Okay, it is evidently seen. What is evidently seen? By Uktanyayena. Okay, this Nyaya, which is logically. Okay. So logically, what is seen? Aditva Samanyam. So both are being the first is evidently recognized. Atva Vivakshayam iti asya vyakhyanam. Okay, so again, Atva Vivakshayam is what is said in the first line. That itself is explained in the second line, is what Bhashikara says. Matra Sampratipattau. So Atva is a Matra. Vivaksha means Sampratipatti. Okay, basically to understand Akara. What Akara translates to from a Vidheya perspective. Vishwasya Akara Matratvam Yada Sampratipadyate Ityartha. Okay, Akara Matra is Vishwa, is when it is cognized, when it is recognized. Then what happens? How is it recognized? Apti Samanyamevacha Utkatamiti Anuvartate Shabdate. Okay, Sad Apti Samanyam. So there is a Vyapakatvam which is there in both. Okay, so it's the same thing. So we don't have to explain it again. Taijasasya Utva Vijnane Utkarshaha Drishyate Sputam Matra Sampratipatto Syad Ubhayatvam Tatavidam. Utva Vijnane Taijasasya Ukaratva Vivakshayam. Okay, that is Utva Vijnanam. So how is Taijasa equivalent to U? Okay, for that Utkarshaha Sputam Drishyate. Okay, the additionalness, that is Utkarshaha, is evidently seen. Matra Sampratipatto Syad Ubhayatvam Tatavidam. Being in between the two, which is Ubhayatvam, is also very evident for both Utva and Taijasa. Again, we have just seen that. So we move. Makara Bhave Prajnasya Mana Samanyam Utkatam Matra Sampratipatto tu Laya Samanyam Evacha. Makaratve Prajnasya Miti Laya Utkrishte Samanye Ityartha. Miti Laya. Okay, so becoming one is the Laya. Okay, that is Apti Vyapti that we just saw Bhashikara said in the Shruti Vyakhyana. And then Miti is Manam, measuring. Right? That also we just saw in detail. So Makara Bhave, in Makara Prajnasya, Manasamanyam. So they both are as measures for Akara Ukara. Makara in the case of Akara Ukara, Prajna is in the case of Vishwataijasa. Matra Sampratipattu tu Laya Samanyam. Okay, so again, in the case of Matra, there is a Samanya in terms of the Laya that becomes one in which both of them come and rest. Okay. Trishu Dhamasu Yastulyam Samanyam Vetti Nischitaha Sapujya Sarva Bhutanam Vandyas-chaiva Mahamunihi. Okay. So this is a Palastuti from a totality perspective. Yatokta sthanatraye yaha tulyamuktam samanyam va iti ema eva etaditi nischitaha sanna saha pujyaha vandyaha cha brahmavit loke bhavati. Okay, so this is the Palastuti for Omkara Dhyana. Okay, so once you have done Adhyasa and have done this and recognized also the meaning of Abhideya, this Abhidhana and Abhideya relation, then what happens? He says, Trishu Dhamasu Yaha Tulyam Samanyam Veti. Okay, this Dhama is Sthana. Okay, in this three Sthana, Vishwataijasa Prajna, this Tulyatvam with Omkara. Yaha Tulyam Samanyam Veti, the one who recognizes it. Again, recognizing is two ways, right? We have already seen. One is from dhyana perspective that we just saw. The other is directly in terms of this, the whole prapancha is Vak Prapancha, and the whole Vak Prapancha is Visa Auma, and Om is the whole world experience. Okay, we have seen that Pratyaya and all that. Yes, no, we have seen. So this Pratyaya is not different from what the Jagat is. So that's where it is Samanya. Yaha Veti. Trishu Dhamasu Yaha Tulyam Samanyam Veti Nischitaha. The one who have absolute clarity on this, how it is. Saha Pujyaha Sarvabhutanam Pujya. That person is respected. Okay, Vandyascha, prayed to. Okay, regarded. And Mahamunihi, Bhashyakara says, Brahmavit. Muni is generally Mananashilaha, but this Mananashilaha after Shravanam only, no? The person who has gained this Jnanam only does Mananam. So it's a Brahmavit, is the pada he uses. So the person who has understood as this Abhideya Pradhanayana, the Swarupa, as is Puja. Why Puja? Because it's Brahma only, Brahmavit, Brahmaiva Bhavati. There is no individual there. So when the Ahankara is gone, is falsified, then it becomes puja. You always do puja to what? Where there is no individual Ahankara. Wherever there is no individual Ahankara, you can, that is Brahman. That's why even children, newly born till 1 year, we say these are Bhagavan. Because there is no Ahankara, grown Ahankara till then. So there is no individuality in the sense, the identification as a person, right? So it is in a formative state. So we take it, it's a, so Guru also same way. Guru, if it is a Jnani, not even Guru, Jnani primarily, Guru is okay. Guru is a regard, respect because of teaching. But Jnani because Brahmaiva, it's Atma Vastu only. So the Jnani is, the person becomes Aradhya, Pujya, Vandya, because it's Brahma. So even the Vigraha also, because there is no Ahankara, we pray. So anything becomes worthy of praying because when there is no Ahankara. So whether it is Shila Vigraha or, even Surya Chandra and all that, because there is no Ahankara. The moment that Ahankara is there, then the whole thing is not, then it is different, right? So here, Pujyaha, because it is Brahmaiva, the person is Brahmaiva. So it is like when you are the one Mahamunihi becomes Vandya. Sarvabhutanam Pujya. Whether bhutas are actually praying or not doesn't matter, but is worthy of worship is what it means. Worthy of worship because there is no Ahankara. Okay. Vishwadinam will see Tika. Vishwadinam Akaradinam cha yatulyam samanyamuktam tad vijnanam stauti. Okay, stotra only. Yatokta sthanatriyam jagaritam swapnaha sushuptam chaiti tritayam tulyam padanam matranam chaiti seshaha. Uktam samanyam aptihi uktarisham uktarishaha mitihi ityadi mahamunihi iti asya artamaha. Okay, nothing there. Okay, akaro nayate vishwam mukaraschapi taijasam Makarascha punah prajnam namatre vidyate gatihi. So amatra is brought in here. Akaraha vishwata nayate vishwam. Ukarascha taijasam chapi nayate. Makarascha prajnam nayate. Amatre gatihi na vidyate. What is this amatra? The next, so this shloka is brought before this Shruti Vakya. The Vakya is Amatras Chaturtaha Avyavaharyaha Prapanchopashamaha Shivaha Advaitaha Eva Momkaraha Atmaiva Samvishati Atmana Atmanam Yayevam Veda. Okay, this Shruti uses Prapanchopasamam Shantam Shivam Advaitam was said for the Turiya. Same thing it is using for Amatraha Chaturtaha. So this Amatra, some people translate it as silence. See, the moment you say silence, silence is what? Silence can be interpreted as Shunya, right? So this Satta is what is taken as Amatram. In fact, Amatra is Ananta Matra is what Karikakara is going to say. So if you keep saying Om, 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 this O and for both of them, you are doing something with your lip and all that. So there is a matra means what? It's a constrained sound, correct? There is a time limit. There is a particular way of saying all that. Together becomes your matra. So when you say amatra, it is sound but not constrained, right? So what it is there is no guna, right? There is no atva guna, there is no utva guna, there is no makara guna in it. Okay. So if you leave out this akaratvam, makaratvam, mukaratvam from sound, whatever is left is your amatra. Okay, that's how you have to understand. It can't be silent. Silence means there is no sound. Then it is like shunyavada. So I don't know. Somehow I am not very comfortable with people saying it is silence is the fourth pada, which pervades all the three is what they say. But I think it is better that means what this then Turiya is like Shunya only, no, in the Dashtandika. So that will not be appropriate. Here Shruti is saying it is Prapanchopashamaha Shivaha Advaitaha Evam Omkaraha Atma Eva. So this Satta only is in the form of Omkara, right? That sound also is a Satta. That's how we have to take it then. See, otherwise then what? If you don't say it is Akara, then the base itself is Akara only then. So if it is only sound, then you will say it is Akara. It can't be Omkara. So we have to take it as the Amatra Shabdam. Okay, even not an Akara also. That is what is the fourth one. Amatraha Chaturtaha Avyavaharya. There is no Vyavahara that can be done on it. The moment you say then it is Vyavaharya, right? It is not Akara also. So what is the content of Akara, content of Ukara, content of Makara is the sound Satta, right? That's probably how you can word it. Because Shruti also struggles to name it, no? So it just says Amatraha. So the non-matra, non-constrained sound. Okay. Chaturtaha Avyavaharya. Okay, there is no Vyavahara which can be done because it is not qualified. The unqualified effort, which is what is there pervading your Akara, Ukara, Makara, is your Amatra, and that is what? That is your Satta of Omkara. That is Atmaiva. Samvishati Atmana Atmanam Yevam Veda. That Amatra is introduced in this previous shloka. So what does it say? Akaraha Nayate Vishwam. In your dhyana, Akaraha Vishwam Nayate. So when you keep saying Om, 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 what do you bring? In the Akara, you bring the Vishwam. Ukaraha, in Ukara, you bring the Taijasam, the Sukshma Sarira, or Hiranyagarbha. And in Makaraha, Punaha Prajnam, the Karana you bring to Makara. And Amatre na Vidyate Gatihi. In Amatra, you can't bring anything. It is Satta only. Like in the case of Turiya, You don't bring anything. When I say Turiya, what comes to your mind? Nothing. When I say waken, something comes to you. When I say dream, something comes to your mind. When I say deep sleep, also something comes to your mind. When I say Turiya, where does it go and attach itself to? Nothing, right? There's no gati. It's your own existence. It is self-revealing. But you can't pinpoint and say this is what it is, right? In the sense, everything is that because it's nirguna. Similarly, this amatra also is like that. It doesn't. So in your amatra, you visualize it as a nagatihi. Nagatihi vidyate asya. So then why you talk about it, you shouldn't ask. You are saying there is no gati, and then you are saying it is turiya, and you are saying it is amatra. Why you even have to say? Because it is self-revealing. It is self-evident. It is swayam prakashate. You don't have to point to it. Okay. It is that which is the existence, which is what is lighting up everything. It doesn't need to be qualified for you to understand it. Okay. So there is no gati, but it is there. You see that is the point. You don't the word the only amatra. The amatra is how you represent it. There is no word. You can say turiya and all that, but there is no gati. It doesn't go and stick itself to a particular object. Okay, it is the subject itself. So yathoktaihi samanyaihi atmapadanam matrabhihi saha ekatvam kritva yatokta omkaram pratipadyate yaha dhyayi tam akaraha nayate vishwam prapayati. It brings you in your dhyana the akara. It maps to the vishwam. That's what it means. The akara brings vishwam means what? Prapayati means it attaches itself. So when you keep saying Om, 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 in your mind the Vishwa, Taijasa and Prajna sthanas, the Prapancha, Samashti, everything are brought in by these kind of syllables. Okay, so Akaraha, Vishwam Nayate, Vishwam Prapayati, Akaralambanam, Omkaram, Vidwan Vaishwanaraha Bhavati, Akara Alambanam Omkaram, Vaishwanaraha Bhavati for Vidwan. Okay. So this alambanam means what? Adhyasam only. Adhyaropanam is done for Vaishwanara on Akara for the person who is a dhyayi. Tata ukaraha taijasam makaraschapi punaha prajnam cha shabdan nayate iti anuvartade. Those shabdas automatically bring these because it's like, see, this is like your sutras, Brahma Sutra, Panini Sutra and all that. What happens? In the sutra, atato brahma jignasa. Now then you get into analysis. Ataha, ata, ataha brahmanaha jignasa. What does ata shabda mean? Okay. Then there is a big discussion. So after Vedadhyayana Anantaram, or something is all discussed, then finally Bhashyakara says, no, sadhana chatushtaya sampat is what is needed. Okay. Now this ata is you have understood. Then ataha, therefore, wherefore. Then again there is a discussion. You understood what ataha means. And then Brahma. What is Brahma? Again there is a discussion. Jignasa, Jnatumicha. Again there is a discussion. Why Jnatumicha? Is Nyayam Brahma? Or it is Apyam Brahma? What it is? Now you have understood. But what do you keep in your mind? Just Atato Brahma Jignasa. That's all. Correct? The moment Ata is said, everything under it is unfolded to you in your mind because you already understood it. So what you keep is minimal syllables, but with those you attach a huge understanding. That is the sutra literature, right? Because in those days you had to memorize. Books were not the key things, right? So you had to memorize. So they alpaksharam, asandigdham and all that they used to speak vishwatomukam. So these words there should be minimal syllables. Okay, but then without any doubt, at the same time it should talk in many ways so that many aspects are covered in a particular word. Okay. Similarly, here this bija bhavam, once you have understood this whole thing, the moment you say Om, The whole Srishti and the Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira, everything comes into it. Okay. That is a Anuvartate Shabdat Nayate. It brings the whole thing, this Omkara, because you have understood what each one of them means. So now going forward, whenever you hear this Om, the whole knowledge should come with it. Okay, because it is the Shabda Pratika. Kshine tu makare bija bhava kshayat amatre omkare gatihi na vidyate kochiti ityartha. This makara and all these also, when they resolve, okay, this bija bhava kshayat. So the bija bhava, this this the seed form, right? That is that bija bhava. When it also is falsified, what remains is amatra omkara, which is turiya vastu. In that there is no gatihi. It is swaprakasha. You just is there. That is, it is there all the time, not constrained by any qualities. Okay, that is Swaswarupa Avastha. So there is no gatihi vidyate, because there is no, it's already there. There is no gati. Okay, it's not something to be reached. It is already praptasya prapti only. It is siddha vastu. So that's why amatre na vidyate gatihi. This amatra doesn't attach itself to any particular object. Anything that is objectifiable, cognizable as this is mithya only, no? Drishyatvat gatavat yadde drishyam tadanritam. Drishyatvat gatavat, we say. Okay, whatever is objectifiable, known through guna, is mithya only. There is no satyatvam. Therefore, there is no gati. Amatra doesn't have a gati. Turiya doesn't have a gati. But it is swaprakasha. So that is the Shastra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.